Hey, Notch.
Yeah?
What if we did a sketch that was the Twilight Zone theme, but in an alternate universe where the cosmos don't suck? Ha!
Not bad, man. I kind of like it. But hey, listen, I've been working on something all day, and I just want you to give me a little bit of feedback, okay? I've been coming up with some chants that we can try out, and I need you to be honest, okay? I don't want you to, like, be my buddy here. I want you to, like, be honest with your feedback, alright?
You bet. Lay it on me.
Cool, man. Alright, here's number 1, alright? Loons. Loons. Loons.
You know what? I love the effort. I do.
It's a classic, dude. We just need an organist, and then it's like we're showing how sophisticated we are.
I just don't think it's gonna work, man.
No?
I'm sorry. You know, I don't want to hurt your feelings. It's just not for us.
Yeah, 300 people, you know, maybe some of them don't appreciate Bach, but it's fine, it's fine. I got another one. Alright, here, try this one.
Okay.
I love United. I love the...
Is that the East German national anthem?
Yeah... No, but nobody's done it before, man. It's super original, it's creative. Again, like...
That's a no. That's a no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Someone's being a little picky today. But, alright, cool. Let's try another one. I think this one, you're gonna like this one a little bit better.
There's more.
There's more. There's more. A few more. But just, again, just be honest, okay? I need you to be honest with me, alright? Crawling in my skin, these loons, they will not hear.
No.
Okay. My Barbie girl in the United World, Emma Plass.
No.
I'll tell you all what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I want the loons, I want the loons, I want the loons, I want the loons, I want it. Ah.
You know what, man?
Yeah.
I actually think that is definitely horrible. No.
Alright. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. You are united, the loons I love. Okay. This one's the last one. I think it's the best. Wake up in the morning feeling like Bruce Maguire. Put your glasses on my face and go out to the Nessie. You're gonna...
Are you serious right now?
You're
done for the day, Notch.
Alright, buddy. I guess if some people just don't appreciate the creativity that, you know, few original people bring to the table and, like...
Wake up in the morning feeling like Bruce Maguire.
Oh. Dang. Hey everybody, welcome to Two United Fans. I'm Nach.
And I'm Kyle. And this week, we're going to take you to the Sweetwater Bar and Grille. We're going to show you what it goes on when we're watching a U.S. match there. And in fact, this one was a little special, because our main man, Miguel Ibarra, got on the field. So you get to see a little bit of our reaction and what other fans do when they're watching.
But given how quickly we release episodes, he's probably got about 10 more US caps, so the reaction probably is not so great anymore. I don't know. Maybe he's scoring so many goals that we're all like, oh yeah. Well, anyway, our second segment today is about the San Antonio Scorpions. You know, our big rivals with Minnesota United FC. We just hate those guys. Scorpions. We're going to talk a little bit about their history, a little bit about their players, little bits and bobs of other things too. And also, speaking of little bits and bobs, we've got a new Facebook page, so go like that, because it's still 2008, and Facebook is still super cool. Thanks, everybody. Take a break right now.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for us to school you on the San Antonio Scorpions. And this team actually started out with the fans coming first, which is an awesome story for soccer. And it was the Crocketeers back in 2010 who started up a group and decided that they wanted to bring soccer into San Antonio. So around that time was the 2010 World Cup. And they began organizing some big events for watch parties at the Alamo Drafthouse movie theaters. And it was a huge success. They got lots of local attention for it, got lots of soccer fans riled up about it. And in comes Gordon Hartman, who is a local businessman as well as a philanthropist. Man, I struggle with that word. Philanthropist.
You got it.
And he came in, decided that he wanted to help bring soccer to the local area. So he tried for a bid in the NASL to get a team in. And it happened 2 years later, in 2012, they were finally accepted in to the NASL. It's the San Antonio Scorpions.
And things have never been the same since. Well, so Gordon Hartman, I mean, he bid for the team because he was building a sports complex called the Star Sports Complex. It's next to this wonderful park that he's built for adults and children with disabilities called Morgan's Wonderland. You should really look this guy up. He just sounds like a really terrific human being. But anyway, I'm being completely serious when I say that. I joke around a little bit about some of the people that we talk on the show, but Gordon Hartman really seems like a really great guy. But anyway, we get to the Scorpions. They have their first season they played in Hero Stadium while they're waiting for their place, Toyota Field, to be built. Do not confuse this with Toyota Park, which is in Bridgeview, Illinois, and is the home of the Chicago Fire. This is Toyota Field. Toyota Field was also built with 3 phases in mind of construction. The first phase would have capacity for about 8,500 people, but by the end of phase 3, they could fit 18,000 plus spectators into their stadium. This obviously goes along with a planned MLS bid. Also, remember, every time you talk about the San Antonio Scorpions, you are contractually obliged to say the words #MLS ready in the same sentence. So don't ever talk about the Scorpions without using the words #MLS ready.
I'm just trying to protect you guys.
Exactly.
Don't forget it.
But I just want to say, I mean, just from a completely serious standpoint, the Scorpions story is a success story for grassroots American soccer. I think if you could have more stories like it around the nation, the soccer pyramid here would be much stronger. I mean, this team of fans comes up, they build up the base organically, and suddenly you got a local businessman who's like, hey, let's do this, and they have their own stadium, and I mean, it's a great thing. I was really impressed by the history.
Yeah, their first season was actually a big success too. Coming in right away in 2012, they were top of the table after the regular season, so that means they had the most points in the NASL. And on top of that, going into the playoffs, they actually made it all the way to the semifinals,
where they were beaten by
Stars! Minnesota Stars. Back before we were united, we took them out on our way to the final, and we won't talk about anything after that.
That final never happened. That FN team.
The one, troubling maybe a bit extreme of a word, but interesting fact, is the first season they started out with about 9,000 in attendance. It's been dropping a little bit so far to this year in 2014, down to about 6,500.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope for their sakes that they can punch it back up and get some sellouts. And in an effort to try to make that happen this year, their season opener was ours as well, and it was played away in San Antonio. About a week before this game happens, we start getting a little bit of weird press releases from the Scorpions organization. First, they sent out this news press release that says, Minnesota United are our rivals, heated rivalry to open in San Antonio. Oh my god, there have been all these incidents. They hate us, we hate them. #rivalry. And this is, I'm not kidding actually, this joke makes for itself. The hashtag they used was #this rivalry is real. Everybody in Minnesota is like, what are you talking about, mate? Like, we are just watching soccer here. We're just having fun. We're waiting for our home opener. We've got to put up with this one away game before that happens. And rivalry. We're in the same time zone, dude, but we got nothing else in common. That's when Howard Cornfield decides to come in and explain the situation. He's like, yeah. By the way, Howard Cornfield is the general manager of the San Antonio Scorpions. This is a wonderful photograph of him riding an Easter egg from around that time as well. Go look this up. Wikipedia and San Antonio Scorpions' own website are your friends. So Howard Cornfield comes in and he's like, I'm the general manager of the Scorpions, and Nick Rogers, that man in Minnesota, he hates us. He's put out all these insulting words about the Scorpions. He's like made all these unwarranted attacks, and Nick is sitting there being like, man, what did I ever do to you? Does anyone else remember me saying anything about the Scorpions? And in fact, he tweeted out saying if anyone could find anything negative that he said about the Scorpions, he would give them a free Minnesota United jersey with all of the players' signatures on it.
Man, I wanted that jersey. But
we all did. We looked and we didn't find anything. Howard Cornfield, if you're watching this, claim the jersey. You have the evidence, my friend.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Another interesting fact is actually the player at the beginning of all of this alleged rivalry who started some of the violence between the teams that led to this was Pablo Campos.
Have you heard of him?
I haven't, but it sounds like a cool guy. Before he played for Minnesota United, he actually was on the Scorpions team, and he was involved in several interesting events throughout the history. He initially, was it in 2012 when he headbutted?
Yeah, in the semifinals game, when we were about to defeat them and knock them out of the playoffs, our captain Kyle Altman got a headbutt from a Scorps player who just happened to be Pablo Campos, and at the end of the year, we acquired him. And it's been great. Pablo actually hung out with us as an indie. He's a really, really cool guy. And but again, then the next year, he was involved in another incident.
Yep, this is once he came to our team. And after the game,
Kevin Harmsey.
I believe that Kevin Harmsey is looking for a future in the medical profession and was just trying to check to make sure Pablo Campos was up to snuff medically. If you know
properly secured his cup before the game. This Kevin Harmsey, or I don't know if he still is, a Scorpions player, decided to tap Campos' sack at the end of that game, and there was a little bit of a scuffle. But, I mean, yeah, there have been these two violent incidents between Scorps players and Minnesota players, but both of them were instigated by Scorps players, and the team has some disciplinary issues. Early this season, they've been getting a lot of red cards. The player with the most amount of red cards in the NASL this year is a Scorp. So, I mean, this team has disciplinary issues.
But rivalry...
#this rivalry is real.
It's not real. So Julius James is actually the name of the man with the most reds in the NASL playing for them. Some other people that are on their team right now, we'll start with the keeper, Josh Saunders. This is another MLS stalwart who's playing down in the NASL right now. And he's actually still signed for an MLS team, and that's New York City FC.
First player signed by them.
Yep. And they're starting up this next year, so until then, he's on loan to the San Antonio Scorpions, just so that they can, I guess, have a good keeper, and he can keep playing a little bit. But the next player has got one of my favorite stories of all times. That's Mr. Walter Restrepo. Fantastic player, nothing against him, but he was acquired from Fort Lauderdale. Is that right? Fort Lauderdale for a block of hotel rooms and some transportation.
I traded away our washing machine to get him. He punches and bunches.
When the strikers come to town, the Scorpions pay for their hotel room and lodging, and that was the trade deal. This is honestly got a bunch of worldwide press about just being the weirdest soccer trade for a player in quite a while.
And actually, the man who currently, at the time of this video, is their leading goal scorer is Rafael Castillo, who is a Colombian player. Who's played a little bit. I think he's got 9 caps internationally. And played a long time in the Colombian leagues. So he's a really experienced veteran on the team, was lending just a lot of kind of leadership roles, and has been a pretty big asset for the team.
Also has the coolest middle name in the world. He's Rafael Arlex Castillo, which is...
Arlex.
If my middle name was Arlex, I would be the top goal scorer in the NASL. I'm just saying. Well, actually no, the top goal scorer in the NASL doesn't have the middle name Arlex. The top scorer and goal scorer in the NASL is Christian Ramirez. But I guess if I had the top name... I'm just messing this up. Let's just keep going. The next player we want to talk about is Billy Forbes, he's just 23 years old, pretty young guy, spent 1 season with the Scorpions. He's from the Turks and Caicos Islands, which are just off the Bahamas, and when he was acquired by the Scorpions, actually it's really cool. The Ministry of Sport in the Turks and Caicos put out a release saying how proud they were of him. He's played 4 games for their international team as well. He's capped by the Turks and Caicos Islands international team. He's one of, I think, 4 players when I looked it up who had recent call-ups who doesn't play in the Turks and Caicos local league. There are, I think, 3 in the US and 1 in, I believe it was Vietnam. So he's doing some pretty cool things for soccer players in this country. He's also got the most number of assists in the Scorpions as of our recording this right now.
Which was 23, which is pretty damn impressive. Right?
Yeah.
And we do have to throw in a disclaimer.
Not 23, that's his age. He's 23 years old, he has, I believe, 9 assists.
That's my bad. We do have to throw in a disclaimer. We tried searching for quite a while before this video for the pronunciation of Turks and Caicos.
Quesos? I don't know.
So, we apologize if we got that wrong. We tried. It's not out there.
We looked at all these YouTube videos. We put Turks and Caicos Islands into YouTube, and we got all these like people showing their vacation videos. Just like, hi, I'm at the airport, and I want to show you what the airport looks like. And we're like, say the name. Say the name. Let us know how to say it. Nobody says the name, because they're all like, we don't know how to say this.
It's like Voldemort. You don't actually say the name.
Exactly. Well, the final story we have is probably the best, which is Eric Hasley. Eric Hasley to me sounds like a really American, like Texan name. Eric Hasley, he's getting the burgers going. But he's not. He's actually a Frenchman, and he's played in a few good European teams before moving to MLS with, I believe the Whitecaps were the first team to acquire him. And he has one of the best incidents I heard of from the MLS, which is in 2011, he scored this goal while he was on a yellow. Runs to the crowd, and he's going about to pull off his shirt, and everyone's like, no, you have a yellow card, don't do that. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it, pulls off his jersey, and there's a like identical jersey under it, and everyone's like, yeah, Eric got the ref good. He's wearing the kit, and Eric's like, yeah, I scored that goal, and then the ref's like, yeah, you did, but here's another yellow card, you are off, son. And yeah, it was
a cool idea. I appreciate the effort, but getting a red for is pretty silly.
He wasn't going to get away with it. I mean, it did prompt a conversation about what's this rule actually for. Is it because they're taking their shirts off, or is it just because the sponsors need to be seen when the camera is on that one player? So that was a decent conversation, but he's now with the Scorpions and then playing there.
Yeah. So we hope you got a little bit of fun background on the San Antonio Scorpions. And we're sorry that we couldn't find a lot of more information on some of the other supporter groups outside of the Crocketeers. We tried, guys. Love to talk about you more. Throw some stuff out there on the web.
Yeah, Casual Football Firm is the one that we know does exist, and there's one other one whose name I could not find online with the research that we were doing. So, like Kyle said, just put up a website, guys. Put up something that we can go with and mention you on our show. But we're going to take another break and come right back.
I am Manny Lagos, and you're watching Two United Fans.
Welcome to Two United Fans. We're here at the Sweetwater today. We're going to watch the U.S. match take on Honduras. Here's our second chance of seeing Ibarra play. We're going to take you on a quick spin around the bar, talk to everybody here watching the game, and get some predictions about the score, as well as if Ibarra is going to get on the field.
So, when the Thunder had first moved to playing at James Griffin Stadium, which is just up the highway from here, they decided to have a designated after bar spot after each game. And for a while it moved around to different bars. So it was at Billy's and Dixie's on Grand and different places. And then eventually they just started having it here because they also used this hotel for, it was kind of the recommended place for all the away teams to stay. So we started coming here and people got to know Saeed, who was really friendly and is the manager. I think he's actually the owner of the restaurant, not the hotel. And he was always willing to be very accommodating to us as Thunder fans and then as U.S. fans as well. So then going down the years when, you know, bigger bars like Brits or the local wouldn't even necessarily put on U.S. games or would put it on a tiny TV in the corner with no sound, they were always much more willing here to accommodate us. So, you know, I know a lot of people have come along since then, and it may not always be the greatest place, it may not have the best food or the best amenities, but that's why a lot of us have a fondness for it, because when no one else was really willing to embrace it, Saeed and the Sweetwater definitely did embrace us as U.S. fans, so that's why we've always kind of kept coming here ever since.
So the American Outlaws Twin Cities watch the games here at Sweetwater, and little known fact, 2-for-1 beers at every U.S. game. That's pretty unbeatable in my opinion. Also, if you open to page 1 of the menu, walleye fingers. You can't go wrong. Trust me, walleye fingers and 2 beers, your life is made. Even if your team loses, you'll be in heaven. It took a little bit out of the pain out of USA Portugal over the World Cup earlier.
My guess, USA 2, Honduras 1, and Ibarra does not go on.
Me?
Yeah.
USA 2, Honduras 1, and Ibarra will play, and I may or may not have inside information.
Alright, I got USA 2, Honduras 1, Ibarra goes on in the 77th minute.
My name is Brett. I think that the score today is going to be 3-0, and I think Miguel is going to get in the game late. I don't think he'll necessarily score, but I think he's going to get some minutes.
I'm Jim, and I think the score tonight will be 3-1 in favor of the U.S., and Ibarra will not start.
Hi, I'm Julian, Julian, and I think it's going to be 2-0 USA, and Ibarra comes on somewhere in the 75th minute.
I'm Alex, and I believe USA is going to win 3-1 with Ibarra coming in, I say, at halftime.
My name's Orlando, I'm saying 3-0, Ibarra gets 25 minutes.
I'm Brian, I'm predicting a 3-1 final, 2 from Altidore and 1 from Dempsey. And Ibarra gets about 15 replacing Bedoya.
I'm Alex. I predict a 2-1 victory for the United States, and I think Ibarra will get about half an hour of play time.
I hope you don't mind me coming over and sitting down, but I've been watching you all evening, and I want to tear you apart. And your friend too.
Thanks everybody for watching Two United Fans.
Well, and you know what to do next. You can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube to get all the latest news, photos, all this other great stuff that we put on there. Or if you want, you can like us on Twitter, subscribe on Facebook, and follow us on YouTube. Whatever you want to do. But thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.
Bye.